Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back from the deck profile here. Like I said last week, this is I'm profiling today one of my favorite decks of all time. It's actually Heroes, Elemental Heroes to be exact, but you guys know the hero build. Now this is obviously a fan favorite of mine from when I was younger. You know, the GX era or something, which is very important to me as a kid, and it also stemmed over in my adulthood, obviously. So I'm going to be bringing you this deck profile. I will try and show you a combo video at the end of this. The one thing I do want to say is this is obviously a rogue deck, a very expensive rogue deck, but it's rogue nonetheless. So without further ado, Heroes. Pan down there and show them that. And then, alright, so like I said last week, this is obviously one of my favorite decks of all time, so I will just, also, I don't know if you can, you want to pan down here real quick. If you guys see, I got the Mandala Palm mat, the Mandala Palm Field Center, the dice, the hero dice, insane. Yeah, guys, so let's get right into it. So, obviously, the homeboy of all time, Stratos. And, so obviously Stratos, on normal summon or special, adds a hero monster from deck to hand, or it pops your opponent's back rows equal to the number of hero monsters other than himself. So obviously not a hard once per turn. This is one of the cards Konami just chose to not ruin by ratting, and I'm very happy about that, like they did this commander, unfortunately. And then we have a 3 Vision Hero Vyon. So this is obviously very good. This card is one of the more important cards in the deck. For being a rogue deck, obviously this deck is very expensive. But this card, my dude Vyon, you will discard a hero monster, real special summon it, and then it will put a Vision Hero from your deck in your spell and trap card zone. So just something to keep in mind there. He is also part of the combo. So, and then 2 Vision Hero increase. As anyone knows as a hero player, this card you play 2 because you're always going to draw one. That's just how it goes, unfortunately. So what this card does, though, while it's in your back row, obviously Faris would put it there, or by its own effect, which I'll explain in a second. You can tribute a monster you control, special summon it. When you special summon it from your back row to your main monster zone, it will special summon a Vision Hero monster from your deck. Also, when it's in your back row, it's treated as a continuous trap card. Jesus. And also, if you take battle damage while this card's in your graveyard, you can put it in your back row. So. And then 2 of the homeboy, the Vision Hero Vyon. I think everyone knows what this card is, but it's kind of like Armageddon Knight. It sends a hero from deck to graveyard, and then you can banish a hero from your graveyard to add polymerization from your deck to your hand. So, and then 2 of the homeboys, the Shadow Mist. If this card is special summoned, you can add a mask card from your deck to your hand, and then if this card is sent to graveyard in any way, you can add a hero monster from deck to your hand. You can only use one of those effects per turn. So, and then obviously the homeboy, dude, 2 Malicious. This card obviously is just gone from 2 to 3 to 2 to 3 to 2 to 3. This card's insane. Banish it from graveyard, special summon another copy of itself from the deck. But it is it's probably one of the more important cards in the deck. So, and then I chose to play 2 Fire Flint Lady. So the reason this card is in the deck, obviously, is because you can, if you have a warrior monster, you can special summon it from your hand. But you can also tribute it to special summon a warrior monster level 4 or lower from your hand and special summon it to the board. It cannot be targeted by card effects that turn, but it triggers Shadow Mist to search a change card, which is kind of important because you kind of want to get, in this meta, you want to get to the change cards as fast as possible. That's kind of like how, Mass Change into Dark Claw, blah, blah, blah. So, and then the one-ofs, obviously the Dusted Gold. Discard this card, add 1 card, 1 Dark Calling, or 1 card that lists dark, whatever it does, it just adds Dark Calling. The card's just super expensive for no reason. And then the 1 Liquid Soldier. So this card on normal summon can special summon a level 4 lower hero from your graveyard, or if this card is used for a fusion for whatever, if it's sent to graveyard for fusion material or banished from graveyard, like Miracle Fusion or whatever, you will draw 2 cards and send 1 card from your hand to your, you would draw 2, discard 1. You know what I'm saying? So, And then the one Solid Soldier. This card is basically Marauding Captain. On normal summons, special summons level 4 lower hero from your hand. Also, this card is used for a, I think it's change, or it's used for a spell. Yeah, special summons a hero monster from your graveyard. So. And then the one Honest Neos. So this card, I want to talk about this card for just a second. This card's very important for some of the strategies, I guess. This is more of a going second deck. Going first is kind of rough with this deck in this meta right now because it's very control based. It's even hard in the combo variant. Also, this deck kind of just gets shredded by Nibiru in some aspects, obviously. But you can discard this card from your hand to pump a hero monster you control by 2,500 attack. So. And then for the D hero portion, other than Malicious, you will play one Celeste. This card, Celestial, if you have no cards in hand, you can banish this card from your graveyard and a D hero monster from your graveyard to draw 2 cards. So, also, if this card attacks, it pops a face-up spell or something like that and then does damage. I've never used that. I just don't use it for that. And then I want to talk about Plasma for a second. Obviously, you play Plasma. This card, you can special summon this card from your hand by attributing 3 monsters you control, special summon it. It's basically a skill drain, and it's also like a Thousand Eyes Restrict where it just sucks up a monster. So card's very good. I honestly kind of want to side this, to be honest, a lot of the time, because I'd rather end on the Dark Law instead of just make this like my end board sometimes, because sometimes end board will be like this and then this in hand, and you'll be like, okay, cool, like try and break this, but certain decks can break it, unfortunately. But I think Plasma's just too strong not to play. Plus you play the D Hero Fusion card, the Fusion Destiny. So, and then hand traps. I do play hand traps. I actually was playing this deck originally without hand traps. So obviously 3 Droll, and I chose to play 3 Lancia. I know you guys know that I love this ratio. So this stuff right here, I want the cards that blanket the turn. I didn't want to play Ash and stuff like that because I don't play any Fire Fusions or anything like that. I'd rather have cards that are long standing for the turn, just so you can come through and kill them, the next turn if you go first or whatnot. So. And then 3 Emergency Call. This adds a hero monster, elemental hero monster from your deck to your hand, no level restrictions. So basically, it adds Stratos, Liquid Soldier, Solid Soldier, blah blah blah, and then it also can add the Honest Neos, even though its level I think is 8. And then 3 Mass Change. Target a face-up hero monster you control, send it to the graveyard, and summon a masked version of itself with the same attribute. So. Card's very good at when Imperm was in the format. That's kind of how you dodged it with Stratos. Like you'd summon Stratos, they'd Imperm it, you'd mass change, and still get the Stratos search. So, and then I actually cut down to the Fusion Destiny card. I actually cut down to 2 of these. So what this card does is it fusion summons for a Destiny Hero Fusion monster, and it sends 2 Destiny Heroes from your deck to your graveyard. But if this resolves, you can only summon Dark Warriors for the rest of the turn. So. Card's very good though. So, and then I actually do play 1 Mass Change 2. Target a monster, doesn't have to be a hero monster. Discard a card and then summon a mass hero version of its attribute. But I like playing 4 change cards. I think this card's just very good. There's been a few games where I played. Shout out to my boy Johnny. We played today. Dinosaurs is a very hard matchup for this deck. Unfortunately, but you want to see the masked cards all the time, so I was like, yeah, this is definitely one I would play. I actually kind of want to up it to 2, but that's just me. And then for the rest of the 1-ofs, Hero Lives. If you have no monsters, you can pay half your life once, special summon an E-Hero from your deck. 1 Reinforcements, 1 Polymerization, 1 Miracle Fusion, and 1 Dark Calling. So there's that, and then let's go into the extra deck. Alright, so obviously everyone knows 2 Dark Law. I mean, 2 Dark Law is just absolutely ridiculous. While this card's on the board, once per turn, if your opponent adds cards from the deck to their hand, they shuffle their hand, you randomly discard 1, and then since Dark Law is on the board, it'll banish it. While this card's face up, anything that goes to your opponent's graveyard is banished instead. This card's absolutely just... So, I also play this deck for more of a going second way. I wanted it, it can go first, obviously, but going second with this deck is where you kind of want to be at. I will show you a combo video at the end of this, and it's basically 1 second. So, and then one of the Malicious Bane. This card can't be destroyed by battle or a card effect. And then during the main phase, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls equal to or less than its attacks 3,000. You can actually do that in main phase too. Just a fun fact, big shout out to Fee. Just want to clarify that. And then this card, I actually was building the deck around Vision Hero Trinity. Originally, I was playing Mystic Mine, and I was like, fuck that card. I don't, you don't need that. Because like usually you would go second, play Mystic Mine, get to Polymerization, fuse into this. This guy becomes 5k and attacks 3 times, so you just kill your opponent. But if your opponent doesn't know what they're playing, usually you would obviously go second because they want to go first. So sometimes this card will just steal the win anyways. It can't attack directly though. And then one of my homeboys. This is the D Hero Fusion target. 1 Dystopia. So this card, when it's fusion summoned, you can target a level 4 lower D Hero monster in your graveyard and burn your opponents for its attack points. And then if it also gains, I actually don't remember. Yeah. If this card's attack is different from its original attack, it has the quick effect to where it can pop a face-up card on the board. But the reason this is important is sometimes, like when I was playing against dinosaurs today, for instance, I would end on like Ab Zero and this, and sometimes one of the links. But you can actually pop your own Ab Zero with this to trigger it. So, but you can also pop any other card on the board. So. And then 1 Sunrise, this card's very important. Just 2 hero monsters. When this card's summoned, you add 1 Miracle Fusion from your deck to your hand. Also, if there's a battle involved with a hero monster, if you're attacking or they're attacking, if this card's on the board, you can pop a card. So, the card's very important. Very good. Very float effect, 1 Absolute Zero. Shout out to my boy Josh Posey. I think this is my favorite fusion in the extra deck, other than Bane. But if this card leaves the board in any way, it just Regekis your opponent's monsters. So. And then 1 Escarado. This is kind of my 1 flex spot. It's just a hero plus dark monster, so you can play like Super Poly and blah blah. I would side Super Poly in this deck. I don't main it. I did try and main it. It just was not very impactful. It gains 100 attack for each hero in your graveyard, so it's not like insane or anything like that. But and then also outside of Dark Law, we do play other masked heroes. We do play the 1 Hero Blast. This card's very good. It kind of, like I said earlier, you would use the mass change on the Stratos. But this card is the when it's summoned, it targets a monster on the board, halves its attack, negates its effect, and then once per turn you can pay 500 to bounce 1 of the back row. So it's kind of cool against like Eldritch and stuff, like where you can, or control blah 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 with back rows, where you can try and snipe something. Sometimes it comes up, sometimes it doesn't. Also, this deck's very easy at like playing around rogue matchups. I think this deck just shreds rogue, to be honest, because you have your extra deck and main deck is like a toolbox, and rogue matchups are like, oh dude, the meta's this, so I'm gonna do this. But this deck's just like, hey dude, if you play back row, I'm doing this. You know what I mean? So huge fan of this deck. And then the other one, the Acid, obviously the the Heavy Storm card's insane. So I don't really have to say anything about that. You just mass change fucking Ab Zero into this, and Regekis and Heavy Storm is just a complete board wipe on your opponents. I actually am playing the Verte Anaconda. This is the only non-hero card in my extra deck. This card's absolutely ridiculous, though. Obviously, pay 2,000, send a fusion, blah, blah. Everyone knows what this card does. Also, the one thing that's key about this is it can target a monster on the board, turn it to dark. So that's kind of important for like the if you have certain heroes on the board that aren't dark, like Stratus, you can make Stratus a dark and then mass change it into Dark Law, which is kind of important. And then we have the 2 Cross Crusaders. This card's the main, link 2 that you want to go into. This guy, if this card was link summoned, you can special summon a D hero monster from your graveyard and then tribute it to add a hero monster from your deck to your hand. Also, if you use that effect, you can only special summon heroes for the rest of the turn. So this card's just, I'm surprised it's not a foil yet. And then the old Wonder Driver, dude. This card, I've seen a bunch of hero lists. People don't play this for some reason. Kind of confused why. If a monster is normal summon or special summon to its arrow, you will set a polymerization, mask card, blah, blah, blah. Also, this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, especially on a hero monster from your hand. So it kind of triggers off Shadow Mist just to get the change card for next turn. So it's kind of important to me. And then the last card is the this guy, dude, the Dread Decimator. So this card, link 3 arrows down. Anything he's pointing to gains 100 attack for each different hero name in the graveyard. So usually he's like not super important. Also, he does the piercing. Yeah. Also, this card attacks defense. There's a monster inflict piercing. It's not really relevant, but it's just there just to give them the buffs, because I will show you just a quick 2-card combo on how to do this. You see down here. Let me get the specific cards right out of the deck. All we need is Faris and Stratos, and then this will be graveyard down here. So there's multiple ways you can do this. There's also different ways going first. This is just the going second, like quote-unquote OTK build. So all you want to do is normal summon Stratos. Stratos effect will activate to add you the Malicious to hand. Also, you could add Shadow Mist, discard, search for a piece that you need or whatever. So we're just going to just do regular stuff. So discard this, special summon the Faris. Faris effect will activate to place a Vision hero in your Spell and Trap card zone. So you will place the Increase, and then you'll use Increase's effect to tribute the Stratos, special summon it. Discard a special summon, you will special summon a Vision hero monster. So you will special summon the Vyon. Now Vyon's effect will activate, and you will you will send Shadow Mist to graveyard. Wherever Shadow Mist is, there it is. Send Shadow Mist to graveyard. Shadow Mist effect will activate and add a level 4 lower hero from deck to hand. So usually, depending on how you want to go about this, you're going to end up with the Liquid Soldier or the a Dusted Gold. So for right now, since we're going second, we're going to add the Dusted Gold. I'm going to leave the Liquid Soldier here because we will search that eventually. And then you'll use the Vyon effect to banish this from graveyard to add polymerization from your deck to your hand, which this is actually important for the combo. And then you'll discard the Dusted Gold to add the Dark Calling. There it is. And then you will banish the Malicious from graveyard to special summon another Malicious. Now he won't be sticking around long, so we're going to link these two off. A lot of the time I want to get Malicious out of the deck, just because, called by the Grave Deity Crow, so I like to get it early in case they don't want to stop it. So and you'll get your Cross Crusader up here, and then you'll use Cross Crusader's effect, special back the Malicious. You still see this? And then you'll tribute the Malicious with Cross Crusader's effect to add another hero, which is always, or usually, that, the Liquid Soldier. So, and then you will activate the polymerization, and you will fuse the Vyon and the Liquid Soldier into your boy Sunrise. And then Sunrise effect will activate to add Miracle Fusion to your hand. Let's go to graveyard, and then you'll resolve. This will actually be Chainlink 1, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. So you would add the Miracle Fusion, and then this will draw 2, discard 1, doesn't matter what it is. So you would draw 2 with the Liquid Soldier, discard 1. So you have an extra card in your hand. You would already have 3 other cards in hand, so I'll just do this just to represent it. So your hand is currently this many. So you'd have 4 blanks, and then these 2 that we searched. And then now you use the Cross Crusader and the Increase to make the Decimator. And then you will use the Miracle Fusion to banish from graveyard the Liquid Soldier and the Stratos. I like to keep Stratos out of the graveyard in case they have like Called by the Grave or something like that. I know you're going second, so they could have it set. But that will summon you the Absolute Zero right here. And then you will play the Dark Calling to banish the it should be, like I said, it should be the Faris and the Dusted Gold to summon the Old Boy Malicious Bane. Okay. So off of that 2-card combo, you would still have 4 cards in hand and this board. These are all, because of Decimator, these are all pumped by 400. So 29. You know, this is a lot of damage. Also, it's a lot of damage. You can attack, you know, do whatever. Usually this is the game going second board. But like I said earlier, depending on the board or whatever, you could easily just make Trinity and attack 3 monsters, you know what I mean? So a lot of the times you would side in Mystic Mine as well, so unfortunately, but you just Mystic Mine, get to polymerization with 3 heroes, make Trinity, attack 3 times, he's 5k, or if you had the Honest Neos, he would be 7,500, attack 3 times, so. Yeah, guys, so this is obviously one of my favorite decks of all time, heroes. I will have some crazy stuff coming up next week. I don't know if you guys want me to do Ignite Infernities, the Guru deck. I have a crazy twist on Guru, or there might be something else I want to do. I can't remember, but yeah, guys, thanks for checking it out, and cheers.